There. Now can you hear me? There we go. Test 1, 2. Hopefully it'll work. Didn't have sound. I'm learning how to do it. Sorry. You have? Okay. Yeah, I had to make a switch. This thing really lasts a long time. Good. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want, you can come into the actual StreamYard room. Let me do that. Let me put that up on the Amazon link as well. It's just so much to have to do really fast. Let's see. In fact, I'll put the link in here. If you guys want, you can get in here. You can get into the StreamYard, and we can talk. If you guys want, let's see, comments. Sound now, yes, you got sound, good. There it is. All right. I think it's working now. You guys can hear me. Everything's good. It is hot in here. I'm gonna open up the window a little bit more. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Whew. All right. Yeah, I was being patient. He imploded a few times, and his argument didn't really answer well into some stuff. He contradicted himself. That's okay. I mean, that's what it is. All right. Checking all this stuff out. All right. So how do you guys think the debate went? Debate again. Where I missed it. Yeah, you did. There's another debate. Yeah, just finished it. That's right. Hold on. Doing an after show right now, period. You can go to Carm Facebook, and I put a link and stuff up there. All right. Yeah, people are texting me and stuff. Yes. I'm on. I'm doing the after show right now. Come on in. Okay. Debate Jordan Peterson. Who's Jordan Peterson? Come on, why don't you guys come in the room here? You guys can get on the mic and you can talk if you want. Let me see if I can go back over to Facebook and see if I can edit the link I put in there about tonight's after show. You know, it's one of the things about Facebook I find so difficult is I just put this thing up and I can't even find the post. Seriously. And I just want to edit it by putting something in there and I can't do it. I just did this. I just did it. That just drives me crazy. Try something again. All right, this is not much of an after show. I don't think people are going to show up. I can always not do it. There's only a few people in here. It's all right, though. Okay, I'm looking for the link. I did it on my own thing. Man. I'm going to just do it this way. I just make another one. A psychologist debated Dillahunty. Interesting. Okay, guys, come on. I guess we're not going to have anybody coming in to talk or anything. I don't want to just ramble. Wow. Oh, I just missed it. This is not working out that well. All right, you guys. He has to provide a reason for his worldview. He can't just arbitrarily have a worldview that doesn't have any reasoning behind it. Man, working at the moment, or I would join link in Discord. I could put a Discord link in there. I'll get Discord going. Let's see. No, I think I'll just do this. Man, there's too many things to do. All right. You guys can make comments, type them in, type them out, whatever. And if people don't, do stuff, I'll just get going here pretty soon. How do I survive financially? The website that I run supports me. Oh yeah, Ricky. Atheism is a deterministic thing. I purposely didn't go into it. He brought it up. Does an atheist have to prove that consciousness can come from non-consciousness? Well, when you say proof, what does it mean? Can he prove how it's to be done? I don't think they can. I don't know if it's a fair question to ask. But there are problems to it. Consciousness comes from non-consciousness, and life comes from non-life. That's more fiction than anything else. And the free will view in atheism makes no sense. So he's arguing from a Christian perspective, and the problem is I'm giving the Christian answers, and he keeps rejecting them based on his atheistic kind of things. It didn't work. Where can you watch a debate? You have to go to Striving for Eternity. So I'm thinking about doing some things. You guys can give me some feedback on this. What I'm thinking about doing is on Tuesday nights, maybe once every, or like a first and third Tuesdays of each month, I'm thinking about just having a Matt Slick live chat, or Slick Apologetics, call it. And where we have a discussion, it'll be set up like this. People can come in and we can have discussions, and it'll go on my Matt Slick YouTube channel. I have a Karn YouTube channel, Matt Slick YouTube channel. So I'm thinking about doing that. You guys can give me some feedback on that if you like the idea. And I don't know how many I have actually on. No, he was better this time. He was better, and so I think people were coaching him not to be so difficult. Hey, Elias. It's Eli. I wish someone would come in and we could talk. You signed on? Okay, here's the, no, that's YouTube. Let me get the StreamYard URL. If you guys click on this link, you can then come in to StreamYard in here, and we can have a discussion and get you on to do that if you guys are interested. Yeah, he almost got unhinged. All right. So that's that. So there's that, trying to work all the windows and all the stuff. That's how you come in. Go to that link. Anti-theist, anti-theist. What does that mean? There's Elias. Elijah. Eli, man, you're upside down.
Am I upside down again?
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Actually, I'm using my iPad, which is the reason why I'm always like off. I got my laptop. How about this?
There you go. That's much better. Yeah, there you go. Now you look normal. All right.
It's so weird. I guess I have to hold it this way. Yeah, but using my iPad. I sent my laptop in for some fixing, so I'll be able to do this stuff from my laptop, so it should be a little better.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why I'm on. I missed it. I didn't get to see it, but
Well, some people did. I thought that Skylar did better than the last two. He tried to maintain, um, and he did. He tried, and I think he did better. And so his issue was with God's decrees and human free will. And so he obviously had a bunch of questions laid out beforehand, and he wanted me to answer certain questions certain ways. But as I pointed out to him, his problem was we went through certain definitions, and then he would basically ignore the definitions and re-ask questions.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, he does that. And so get this. This was fun. So a lot of stuff was said. I got to this one point. I said, okay, let me ask you, because he said decretive will and direct decree and indirect decree means that God's causing it. Okay, by manipulation, you don't have any free will. That's what he said. All right, direct and indirect, which is not the case, but that's what he says. And then I said, okay, so he had a hat on. I said, all right, so if I'm sitting there and I said, what's that on your hat? And you take off your hat, and I wanted you to take off your hat. And what I did is I caused you to take off your hat by saying, what the heck is that on your top of your hat? You take it off. Have I violated your free will? He said, no. It's his free will.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could get you to do what I want you to do without violating your free will. Now, so I started, it was like the Mollinists are probably going, that's what we teach, Matt. So I just make a couple of caveats. We're not going into Mollinism here, but Mollinists could use it. But nevertheless, I said, so God could certainly know what circumstances will come about that will bring about whatever you want to do by your free will, and he can bring those circumstances to bear, and your free will act in a manner consistent with what he desires. There's nothing wrong with that logically, okay? Now get this. So I said, so if I say, what the heck is that on top of your head, your hat? And because I want you to take off your hat, I ask you the question. It causes you to take off your hat, but yet you're freely doing it, right? You said yes. I said, so if Jesus, who's God, is sitting right here, because he said, if God says it, that's not free. I said, wait a minute. So if Jesus is sitting there, and he says, what's it on top of your head? And it causes you to take off your hat, is that your free will? He said, no. So, well, wait a minute. So the exact same question, if I ask it, means it's free will, but if Jesus asks it, it means it's not free will. He said, well, it's not free will because God ordains everything, and he ordained that I do it. I said, well, wait a minute. You said, because he said earlier, ordination was equal to decrees.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, decree is when God states something and causes it. Is it a decree if he asks a question? And he said, well, no. He finally said no. Well, then how is he decreeing that you take off your hat if he's simply asking you a question? Mm-hmm. And he didn't know what to do with it at first. He tried to just him and haw around. He said, well, he's all eternity and all this stuff. And I said, well, you're just simply saying that it's a free will thing. And yet you're saying it's not free will if God ordains it, but it is free will if I ordain it. How can that be the case?
Did he define free will? Did you guys define free will at the
Yes. He actually went to my website, and the problem with the definition that I have for this kind of a thing is it needs to be worked in. We need to expand on it, And so what I did was I went to look at my notes, and I'll read exactly what he agreed to. There we go. Let's see. Free will, I said, and he agreed to it. Free will is the ability to make a choice according to your desire that's not forced. And he said, yes, that's what it is. I said, that's what we Calvinists teach. That's what we Christians teach is free will. And then what he did was, and I'm not kidding, is I put in the issue, then God's not causing you to take off your hat if he's asking you a question. You're freely desiring to do that. So it's not a causation. So he goes, no, the Calvinist position is this. And I said, no, I kept going back, no. We agreed on what the free will thing was. And what he tried to do was ignore that definition and then go back into the issue of what he says decrees was.
But if you asked him the question and it caused him to take off his hat, we would say that God decreed that he would take off his hat in response to what you said.
Yes, absolutely.
When we talk
But
about
he had
decree,
said
right?
that the decree was a certain thing, and the question was not a decree.
Okay, yeah, I got
That's
you.
what. So that's what he said. I go, okay. In that case, I was working with what he said.
And I also think it's important to recognize that when you talk about the decree, I'm sorry, let me just when you talk about a decree, God's transcendence and the way that God functions is not at the same level as
Right.
causation within the system of like the universe. So like how we cause things, like if I walked over to you and pushed you, that's causation within space and time. God operates transcendently and doesn't necessarily cause things by in the same way that I cause someone to do
Right.
something. He's at a different level of causation because he's transcendent. So it doesn't necessarily require him to do, a within the universe type of causation in order to bring something about. He can bring it about differently because he's at a different state of existence, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I told him, I says, God has multitudinous amount of ways to bring people to do what he wants them to do freely.
All right.
I said, for example, I'm walking down the road and I don't like clowns. I hate clowns, and a clown's from my right. I'm going to the left. Or what if there were more missionaries riding their bikes to my left? I'm going to the left. I'm going to go talk to the missionaries, And I said, these are things that God can ordain and bring me to do exactly what he wants me to do, but I'm still free. I said, there's nothing wrong here. I said, there's nothing is impossible here. I said, if you're going to say that this can't be true, that God's ordaining that the Mormon missionaries go to my left, and therefore I go to the left instead of right, you have to show why that's logically impossible in the sense that God's decree means I don't have free will. And so I asked him, I said, what I want you to do, if you would, he said he would give it a try, is to write up point by point in logical statements why certain things lead to another with a conclusion why it's impossible.
That's a difficult task for him because really the burden of proof is not on you, since what you're required to as a Christian to believe is that God decrees. The Bible says that even within that, we are sufficiently free to be held responsible. The Bible doesn't give us a metaphysical explanation, and so it's not our job to come up with one. There could be any number of ways that God could do it, and it's not necessarily contradictory.
Right.
Like for the Trinity, I don't need to know metaphysically how to explain every detail of the Trinity, but as a Christian who affirms rational propositions, and God, we believe God is rational, all my job is to show you that, number one, it's found in Scripture, and number two, it's not logically incoherent.
Right.
But I don't need to give you a positive metaphysical explanation because the Bible doesn't give us that.
Right. And I did say that God certainly ordained certain things. I went to Acts 4:27. God predestined that people do these things that led Jesus to the cross. And in Acts 2:23, yet they were held responsible. This is what the scripture says. This is how it works. And so what I did was I tried to focus more on providing, here's the mechanism. Here's this. He goes, you didn't provide the mechanism. I go, yes, I did. Of course I did. That he can ordain certain things to be, bring certain things to be that he knows that I will freely choose to do. And he can bring certain things to bear by which I will do exactly what he wants me to do. And he said, well, that means you're not free to do anything contrary. That's the wrong question, a wrong statement. Because if I'm freely going to choose to do A and not B, I'm the one choosing to do A and not B. Doesn't mean I can't choose B. It means I'm the one limiting myself to choose A. It's not an issue of when A comes about that I can't choose B. Of course I could. But I just didn't. And so you're misunderstanding the whole issue. I'm trying to get, we went different ways, different things. I thought it went well. I thought he failed again. Others can make comments. No, Matt doesn't. It's an example of a specific point. So TGG. We don't affirm the illusion of free will. Nice external critique antithesis. That's right. Yeah, Ricky, who failed miserably? Ricky. I need to use the restroom here pretty soon. I've been here for 2 hours.
Matt, when you said that he did better than last time, are you talking about his level of argumentation or his behavior?
Both. He did better. No, he did better in both. He didn't get all uppity and obstreperous, and he was trying to be more articulate, which was good.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So he did better.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
But he still failed.
Hey, a 64 is better than a 60 on a test, but you still failed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He imploded the last two. This one he didn't implode. He's
Okay.
getting better. I think he was coached. Don't say this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do
Yeah.
these things, because it was pretty embarrassing for him. So he
Yeah.
tried to work it. He really wanted to discuss this, and I'm hoping that he does. I said I'll even publish it. You give me the logic, and I'll respond to it. I'll publish it on Carm.
Hmm.
And so let's see if he does. Of course, I'll rip it to shreds, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Oh, cool. I'm looking forward to watching it. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube now? Or
Try Striving for Eternity's website.
okay, I'll check it out. All right. Well, my battery's about to die. I was so busy, so I literally just sat down for the first time and I missed it. So, but I'm sure
Okay.
you did excellent, and keep doing what you're doing, man. It's awesome.
Keep trying, you know, keep trying. Yeah,
Yeah.
these are tough arguments to articulate, though. There's a
Yeah.
lot to them.
Right.
Yeah, there is.
I think your definitions have to be like when you're debating. It almost seems like we have to stay away from popular definitions and get very succinct definitions. Because I think
Right.
so, like especially when we talk about free will, we tend to define it very loosely. Like, oh, it's kind of this, but then we don't qualify certain things, and so we make ourselves susceptible to criticism if we don't define our terms,
Right.
very very specifically.
But I know you got to go soon. But do you know who Sonny Hernandez is? You ever heard of him?
Yeah, though I'm very familiar with him.
Ah, well, he and I are supposed to debate on the 27th of this month,
Yeah.
and he denies free will. And so what I'm thinking about doing is I'm listing up a set of words to define, because I want to go into it already having defined, not having to do it during the debate.
Mm-hmm.
So
You want to listen to it was a dumpster fire debate because it just ended up in yelling. But he did a 2-on-2 debate.
I saw part of that, but I didn't. It was actually in the exact same place I debated what's his name on Charismatic Gifts, same church.
Yes, it was out in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Sonny Hernandez and Zakirad. I keep messing his name up. Zakirardi.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Pritchett and I don't
Right.
remember the other dude. Yeah.
Well, when I was watching, I was watching Sonny, and I didn't see him make any coherent points.
No.
I only watched half of it. It was like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing here to hold on to.
Yeah,
So,
he gets. I mean, he has some good like presuppositional stuff, but when he starts debating those issues, he's a weird debater. He'll randomly go off into, into Greek, and he'll just start saying Greek stuff for like 2 minutes, and then expecting that kind of strengthened his point. It's just a very weird way he debates. I don't find it convincing at all, and I think he kind of thinks like all non-Calvinists are not even saved, or something like that.
yeah, I don't agree with that, but it'll be
Yeah.
an interesting discussion.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that. I always enjoy your debates because your debates aren't boring. You can listen to debates that is very structured and very monotone. When you get into a debate, there's always some interesting fireworks. You have a very special gift of getting under people's skin.
Well, I'll tell you, I tried not to get under Skylar's skin on this one. I tried
Okay.
not to, because there were several things, but I'm going to just try this and that, and that's it. No big deal. But I thought it was
Cool.
entertaining.
Well,
You have to check it
I
out.
look forward to listen, man. I'm gonna sign out because my iPad's about to die. But
Okay.
I look forward to all this other stuff you have coming up, man. Take care.
All right, man. All right.
God
Talk to you
bless.
later, man. God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that was Eli, good guy. We talk every now and then. Anybody else want to say anything, please do. I can read your texts and things and stuff. And if not, I'll get going. Okay. It takes a while for the feed to go through. I think it takes like 30 seconds, maybe even 40 seconds. I don't know. That's good. Atheist debates. I've seen it before in other versions of it. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, any comments? I'm open to any comments. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Yeah, Ricky, he can use secondary causes. Absolutely. See, the issue here is, are we free? Can we just make a choice? Yes, we can. We can make a choice. And God can bring things about to where we make the choices he wants us to make, but they're free. Just as I gave illustrations of how that's possible. And what he had to do was just say, well, that's different because God knows everything, or whatever it was. Well, no, it's not. It's the exact same thing in that circumstances are brought to bear by which people do certain things. So, and they're free to do those things. All right. Okay. It takes too long. Boy, it takes a long time. Like a minute or two. Wow. It takes like 2 minutes for the feed to follow through from the live portion. Eli's been gone for about a minute and a half. Wow. Okay, I guess I can get going. Any comments, anybody? We as human beings in our way of experience do make free choices. Yep. Uh, all right.